Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Civil Stuff by Wahid. If you are watching my video for the first time, please do subscribe. So today we'll deal with the theory of simple bending. So generally what do you mean by a beam? It is nothing but it is a structural member or a flexural member. Okay, it is sufficiently long when compared to its lateral dimensions. Means these are the lateral dimensions and this is the long length. Okay, when you compare with these lateral dimensions, it will be long. Okay, and it's subjected to what? Transverse loading, either point load or UDL. Okay, about its longitudinal axis. This is the longitudinal axis. Now because of this transverse loading, external loading, it is subjected to what? Shear force and a bending moment. Okay, now the cross section of the beam which offers resistance to bending moment are nothing but called as a bending stresses. It is denoted by F. Okay, and the cross section of the beam which resistance towards the shear force is nothing but called as a shear stresses. That is tau, or sometimes it can be written as a Q. Now before going to what is this bending stresses and shear stresses, we'll see what do you mean by a pure bending or a simple bending. Okay, so for that an example has been taken, that is a simply supported beam carrying of load W with symmetrical two loads W and W at a distance of L by 3 from each support, and the total length of beam is L. Now here for this beam carrying this type of loading, symmetrical loading, the shear force diagram will be like this. Okay, so we have seen the shear force and bending moment diagrams in SFD and BMD, and here if you see the CD portion, this portion is the portion where the shear force is 0. So same if you see the bending moment diagram, in that CD portion only the bending moment has been maximum and at the same time it is constant, right? So in a beam at a section with a constant bending moment and zero shear force is nothing but called as a pure bending or simple bending. Now we'll see the sign conventions for this one. So for this I have taken the simply supported beam and the cantilever beam. Simply supported beam, because of the loading it will be bending like this, and for cantilever it will be bending like this. Okay, so here the bending moment produced concavity upwards in the beam, where it is convexity upwards. Concavity upwards and convexity upwards. Concavity upwards is opposite what? Convexity downwards, right? And here convexity upwards means concavity downwards, vice versa, right? Now here, because this is a sagging bending moment which is positive, and here because of this cantilever carrying any load, it will be hogging bending moment which is negative. And see, these are the extreme topmost fibers and extreme bottommost fibers. Here also extreme topmost fibers. Now because of this loading, what happens is this topmost extreme fibers will be getting compressed in case of simply supported, and bottommost extreme fibers will be expanded. And this EF is nothing but what? Middle of this strip, that is called as a, it is replaced by E dash and F dash, and A and B are replaced by E dash and B dash, and C and D are replaced by C dash and D dash. Now from this figure you can say that here AB will be greater than A dash B dash, because this extreme fiber after loading getting compressed, so upper laying gets contracted, whereas CD will be less than C dash D dash because this portion has been expanding. Now upper layer is subjected to compressive stresses and compressive strains are developed, and lower layer is subjected to tensile stresses and tensile strain is developed. And coming to the cantilever beam, here top layer will be expanded and CD bottom layer will be compressed. So here what happens? AB will be less than A dash and B dash, and CD will be greater than C dash and D dash. Now what is happening here? Upper layer will be getting expanded and lower layer will be getting contracted. Now because of this one, upper layer subjected to tensile stresses and tensile strains will be developed, and lower layer it is subjected to compressive stresses and compressive strains are developed. Now in both the cases, in cantilever or simply supported, a layer which neither contracts and expands is nothing but called as what? Neutral layer, that is EF and E dash F dash, right? Now if you see here, this is nothing but the theory of simple bending, which is equals to M by I equals to F by Y equals to E by R. What is this M? Moment of resistance, which is always in kilonewton meter. I is nothing but moment of inertia, which is in mm power 4. F is nothing but bending stress in Newton per mm square. And Y is nothing but distance of neutral axis from the extreme topmost fibers, like this. Okay. Next, Young's modulus of elasticity E and R is nothing but radius of curvature. Now if I take M by E, I equals to E by R, from that M equals to 1 by R and into E by I, where what is this 1 by R is nothing but curvature. What is this EI? Flexural rigidity, means it is a product of modulus of elasticity and moment of inertia of the beam section about the neutral axis. And coming to here, if I take these two from the equation, M equals to F into I by, what is I by Y? That is Z, which is known as section modulus. So section modulus means what? Section modulus talks about the strength of the beam. That is, higher the section value, more strength will be the beam. Now we'll see the section modulus for different cases. For a solid circular section of diameter D, Z equals to what? Section modulus, which is I by Y. I is nothing but pi by 64 capital D power 4 by, what is Y? D by 2. That is, after calculation you will be getting section modulus for a solid circular section as pi d cube by 32. Similarly, for a hollow circular section of external dia D and internal dia D is pi by 64 d power 4 minus d power 4, that is I by Y means d by 2. So after calculation you will be getting what? 32 means pi by 32 into capital D power 4 minus small d power 4 by D. Next, for a rectangular section of width B and depth D, I by Y is what? Bd cube by 12 by D by 2. Means BD square by 6. Similarly, for a square section of having a side EB, so B. So Z equals to what? I by Y, which is equals to B power 4 by 12 by B by 2. So it remains with B cube. Right. Next, coming to the beams of uniform strength. Now what is uniform strength means? This section modulus is directly proportional to M at every section. Means extreme fiber stresses is same at every section. Suppose a beam is like this. Okay, at every section, if I check the extreme topmost fibers which are same along its longitudinal axis, it is called as a beam of uniform strength. That is nothing but ZD is directly proportional to moment. Then how you will be doing means, so then in those conditions the moment will be maximum here. In this portion the section should be developed, means BD square by 6 should be higher, means it should be directly proportional with respect to moment. Here moment will be less, so you can reduce the section like that. You can change, means instead of being the beam like this, it will be somewhat like this portion. So based upon the variation it will be changing, right? Next, suppose a beam of rectangular section is to be cut from a circular log of diameter D. A dia D of log is there, wooden log, say for example. From that, if I want to cut a rectangular section of width B and depth H, then the ratio of the depth to width for a maximum strength is pure bending is √2:1. Okay, the ratio of depth to width should be okay, depth to width should be of 2:1, means H by B equals to √2. Okay, or what is B equals to D by √3. D is what? Diameter of the log by √3. You will be getting B. Substitute here or multiply with what? B into √2, you will be getting H. Like that you can calculate. So H in terms of D means under root of 2 by 3D. B in terms of H means H by √2. Like that you can calculate. Now here, suppose if I take a different shape beams, of having same length, same allowable bending stress and same maximum bending moment is developed. But change in weights will be there. Means a rectangular, a square, a circular. If I consider a circular beam, okay, length will be same, allowable bending stress and maximum bending, but the weight of that particular circular beam should be of 1.118. Square means 11.8% more than that of a square weight. Okay, and here if I am using a rectangular beam, the weight of this will be less than some this percentage, means 0.793 times of square. Only 79% weight from the square it will be taking. Okay, so this is regarding your theory of simple bending basics. In the next topic we'll see the shear stress distribution. Thank you for watching my video. Please do like, subscribe and share for more updates.